because she wants it
those
to the
are
West. Part of it.
Yeah, those are conservative.
Yeah.
They do Muslims are strong.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, they do Muslims are not liberal. They don't intermarry at all. They are
Staunch.
Muslim to Muslim.
I can hear you. It's very.
Sir?
Papers. Oh, it's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, have the ladies with me. Hello, Tokwe. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I had a very eventful weekend. So, my weekend started with the Quiverful conference, the fertility conference, optimizing fertility. I've done it for the past 5 years, and it was really, really interesting. We had Mrs. Yewande Zacchaeus, and you know, we watched our movie, The Waiting, which is based on her story and a few other people that are waiting. And it occurred to me that we still need, there's a gap in legislation concerning adoption and surrogacy in Nigeria. Surrogacy is almost impossible to do legitimately, which is why we have created an industry called Baby Factory, as a means where other people are solving that key problem. But if we encourage and simplify the process of surrogacy, we would have more parents, people in waiting room, people that are having fertility issue go through. No, if we legalize adoption, sorry, I want to talk about adoption. We don't even have any legal framework for surrogacy at all. But we have issues when it comes to adoption. Many children in orphanage are not adoptable because they'll say, we have not heard from their family. The family have not released them. And some will grow up in orphanage homes all their life and become unadoptable based on age. So please, our lawmakers, there are many families that are waiting, and we have many children stuck in orphanage homes. So we need to create a system to move people from being in orphanage home to being adopted. We should create a policy for fostering.
They should make it seamless. There are policies, but just to make it seamless.
It's not a hot topic, but just still greet it up way. How you doing, Maka? Maka, how was your weekend?
I'm fine, thank you. My weekend was packed. So on Saturday, we had the garden dinner party with the governor from Abia State, His Excellency Governor Alex Otsi, which was hosted by my friend Chimaya. So, yes, in Lagos, in Ikoyi. And we talked about basically fostering security in the Southeast so that people can feel safe to come back home, you know, and everything. And, you know, commended him for everything he's been doing. Then on Sunday, I and my friend went to Kurudu. Yeah, to the orphanage home there. And, you know, we had such an amazing time. Yes, it was a packed.
You look a bit tired, though.
Yes, because I really got home. Not really slept. So,
You and BC are pinking today. Hi,
yes,
BC.
energy.
How you doing?
Energy. I'm doing amazing. So, Diobodo, you came back last night. And I'm feeling myself, you know, I've missed him.
Look at this one.
Missed him. I can't wait to just finish this work and be heading home straight, you know, to go and pamper him very well.
But I should follow you.
No, what will you do? You want to hold touch for us?
I want to go now. Record you for you. You're a videographer for the day.
So on Friday, we uploaded the first episode of Mama Ijiro on YouTube. And we've gotten close to over 800 views. We need more views. Please go watch. It's really interesting. So every Friday now, we'll be uploading episodes by episode. So watch, subscribe, share, like, and send me a comment. You know, make a comment. Let us know that you're there, you're present, and all of that. Just support the ministry.
Fantastic.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I was in Ibadan for the week. Funeral of my aunt. She knows she had invited all of us, but we couldn't make it. Auntie Kufu Ogala, she was there too. There was a 1-year remembrance for her mother, and we're all there to support her. So I was really happy to be there.
How was Ibadan party? Is it like Lagos party?
Come on.
Not the same.
Come on.
But you had fun.
Even if Lagosians do their party in, there's just something about the environment that just doesn't
Lagos,
but it was nice.
Yes, I saw it.
There's a Lagos party, is a Lagos party. Regardless of what it is, just Lagos is different. Let us go on a very short break. And we come back, look at the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Wike Bala Mohammed clash over protracted PDP crisis. Defense headquarters. Troops kill 3 terrorist commanders, 67 others in Borno. Enugu tanker explosion. Victims' family besiege hospitals. Edo Road contractors get ultimatum. Investors eye 20 trillion naira gain from stock market. Lifetime award for Shoyinka. Security beefed up in Lagos Assembly. GAC will resolve crisis. And Zenith Bank raises 350.04 billion naira through rights issues and public offer. Okay, which story are we starting with?
I could start with the defense headquarters. So they said 3 terrorist commanders were among the 70 insurgents killed by the troops of Operation Hadin Kai in a clearance operation at Timbuktu Triangle in Borno State. This was what the defense headquarters confirmed yesterday. So they said the Timbuktu Triangle is a terrorist enclave, according to a statement that was issued by the Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba. And it says that the terrorists were eliminated by troops who launched a 3-pronged operation on January 16, which was aimed at dismantling the terrorists within that triangle. The defense spokesperson said that 22 soldiers paid the supreme price in the course of the operations, with several others wounded in action. They said the operation lasted about 9 days, and they said they had recorded several encounters. Let me quickly get it. I just skipped. Technology do well today. So several encounters with terrorists during the course of the clearance operations, which resulted in killing of 70 insurgents, including 3 notable commanders. And they identified the terrorist commanders that were killed. One was Talha, Special Forces Commander, Mallam Umaru, Operations Commander, and Abu Yazid, Brigadier Commander. And they said the operation, they had to use explosive devices to, carry out the operation. And even though some of the troops were trying to, they had their drones all around the place in attack to the troops were able to neutralize their drones, neutralize them and all of that. It's just unfortunate that we lost quite a number of our troops in this. And they're asking that we don't publish their names so that they can, do it formally and then get their next of kin to be able to handle everything. It's just a painful one, but well done to the Nigerian troops. So
Lagos Assembly, the drama goes on as the former speaker had arrived last weekend, according to the report in the Nation. He arrived saying that he was improperly and wrongfully removed from the House of Assembly. However, the new House leadership that led by Speaker Mojisola Merenda has ordered security agents to be on alert and to ensure that the aggrieved supporters of the former speaker do not obviously take over the House of Assembly. Abasa had returned last weekend saying that he was improperly removed, and he insisted that he's still the speaker, stressing that the impeachment did not follow due process. However, the lawmakers who removed him instantly appointed his former deputy, Mojisola Merenda, as speaker, and they said that the party has said that the GAC would resolve the issue as family. Because obviously he's returning, so he's yet to vacate the official residence, and say that will be done administratively because they'll remove him as required by the process. However, they're saying that he must be eventually returned as a normal member of the House of Assembly. Remember, he still has to be, he's representing Agege, so he has to be on the floor. So that process will be done administratively, but eventually we'll see how that goes. Lots of drama. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so relations of the 18 victims of last Saturday's petrol tanker fire in Enugu State yesterday besieged hospitals where the injured were taken. Such a sad story. Family members of the dead also besieged the scene of the accident, which was at Ugu Ama section of the Enugu-Onitsha Expressway. They said as early as 6 a.m. that families were at the Enugu State University Teaching Hospital on Parkley in Enugu and also the National Orthopedic Hospital. Although they are not letting people go in, to disrupt and disturb the victims who are trying to receive, medical attention. People have been seen crying and weeping. That one of the victims' family was at the scene really weeping and saying that his brother-in-law, who just returned from overseas, died in the SUV vehicle. And another man was there weeping and saying that his whole family was totally wiped out.
Oh my God.
Yes, at that incident. So our heartfelt condolence goes out to the families of, the victims of this sad, painful, occurrence.
So I have the story from Edo State where the governor, Governor Monday Okpeholo, has given marching orders to contractors who are meant to work. He asked them, there's a particular section between the Bini Ekpoma Auchi Road that the governors had to step in to put in palliative work. But the issue is the contractors were meant to do the job, and that community, people that are in Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, said that they've been almost cut off completely from society based on that failed section. So they are grateful to the governor for the palliative effort he's doing, but the governor has now interacted with the contractors and inquired of them if there were challenges, and whatever the challenges were, they should let him know, and he urged them to execute in line with the contractual obligations before we get into the rainy season. This is the time for construction work to happen, not in May or June. So, I'm happy that the governor is reading the Riot Act to all the contractors and ensure we give them the necessary funding to carry out the activities at the right time before we now start doing repairs during rainy season.
Okay, marketers, moving on now to The Punch. Marketers may dump Dangote fuel as imported petrol costs 922 per litre. India shows military might as Republic Day parade. 1.3 billion naira fraud. Police to arraign Obanikoro's son. Others February 27th. Aregbesol's group quits APC, cites members' expulsion and suspension. Zenith Bank raises 350 billion naira from rights issue and public offer. 222 soldiers, 70 terrorists killed in Borno military operation. And Wike, serial betrayer, threats to PDP, says Bauchi governor. Who has the major headline? The marketers.
Yes, I do. So all marketers are, they've revealed that the landing cost of premium motor spirits, which we know as petrol, as of Friday was 922 naira, 65 kobo per litre. And they said this cost includes different expenses, including the shipping, import duties, and exchange rates. And this is considerably cheaper than what they get from the Dangote refinery. Dangote is selling at 955 naira to a litre. So they are saving about 32 naira, 30 kobo to a litre, from the Dangote refinery. And they said that because it's reduced in this manner, they would likely prefer to import the fuel, since they are going to be buying more expensive from Dangote refinery. And they said, Dangote had already complained that why his price increase was because of the crude prices, international market. We took it last week. I talked about it, and that's why it's happening that way. But marketers are looking at it from a business angle.
If you guys have heard this gist,
because
there's a particular station that is exclusively that buys exclusively from Dangote.
Okay.
And the word out there is that their fuel is unadulterated, and it lasts like almost ×3 what we normally get from other stations. Now that station, you go there, there's long queue,
and it's expensive as well.
No, it's expensive. It's expensive, but people are queuing there. I mean, you think that it's scarcity when you go to that station, but everybody is there.
And maybe
other stations, they're empty because people realize that. Because I bought fuel there, and I took it to Ibadan back, and I still had fuel.
Wow. Please, we need to know, because I'm buying fuel like this, and it's like it's vanishing.
Dangote, according to now I can't confirm it, but the gist out there that it's unadulterated, it's pure, and that is
so maybe that's why the price is that way.
I'm just saying my own personal experience. I'm not saying any other person's own.
Hey,
but let me go on a short break. When you come back, and I will tell you the name.
Please give us the plug now.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Maka's story.
Yes, the Federal High Court in Lagos on Friday has fixed February 27, 2025 for the arraignment of Bolanhon Obanikoro, the son of Senator Obanikoro, and 4 others for the alleged fraud of over 1 billion naira. Yes, the police charged them with 5 counts, bordering on conspiracy, obtained by false pretenses, false representation, and fraud. When the case was called, the prosecution counsel, Momo Bello, had informed the court that the matter would be scheduled for arraignment for the defendant. So, this is an ongoing story. It's unfolding. So many people are interested in it because every day you just open the papers, it's there. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So I have the weakest story, apparently from Punch. On Saturday, the governor of Bauchi State and chairman of the People's Democratic Party Governors Forum, that's Bala Muhammad, has labeled Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, as a serial betrayer and a threat to the survival of PDP, and asked him to resign from the party and align fully with the ruling APC since he's already serving within the administration. In reply, the media assistant for Nyesom Wike, Larry Olayinka, already hit back and said it's failure of leadership on the part of the man, Bala Muhammad, that it is failure of leadership on the part of PDP and himself that has led to where PDP is right now, and that he is the betrayer, like they gave each other back to back, and that for him, he was advising that the governor should not pursue a 2027 presidency agenda. Is not going to happen. And he repeated, so they now went back and forth, talking about this one betrayed this one, this is how he betrayed this one is a willing tool, accusing Nyesom Wike as a willing tool from the APC to cause issues within the PDP. And while all of that is being said, I'm wondering what the PDP, because we do not want a unitary party system. We want, for democracy to work, there needs to be a vibrant opposition. So it's important that PDP gets their acts together. This accusation, get your leadership structure working. You still have time between now and 2027 because to bring up a viable
PDP
candidate.
was in power. APC was very active.
Very
active. Constantly on top of it. So they need to get their act together. Okay, moving on now to Daily Sun. PDP, Wike, Mohammed, camps go on to showdown, I think, for their next NEC meeting. Defense headquarters confirms killing of 22 soldiers. We talked about that already. Anambra, Goba 2025, the issues and the facts. FRSC implements mandatory driver registration policy. Partners fire service NEMA to combat crashes. Polls, reps seek to make voting mandatory. And new tax regime, UBA hosts knowledge series for SMEs and others. Okay.
Yeah, the Federal Road Safety Corps has rolled out a nationwide crackdown on all tanker crashes, mandating the registration of all tanker drivers nationwide. This is because of every day we open the papers, is one accident or the other, lives, crashes and stuff. So they want to curb this, and they have attributed these crashes to unregistered drivers who are operating without being part of an association or a union. They're stressing now that they need to form a database of verified drivers, which will enable FRSC to track and monitor the activities and also ensure that only qualified drivers are on the roads. They also said that now they are implementing sending their agents to tank farms because they need to inspect safety valves, vehicle conditions and certified drivers before loading and departure of every vehicle that is going to be on the road. Although most of the owners are fighting this, but they said that they are speaking to them and engaging with them, and with time they know that this is be a good collaboration and is going to work out. They also explained that the agency is working closely with the Federal Fire Service and the National Emergency Management Agency to combat the rising of cases, especially when something happens. They need to be able to be on board to help curtail,
I think that FRSC, yes, they are dealing with drivers, but until we start having repercussions to the owners of the tanks,
the vehicles,
if the tankers owners are getting
away with it.
As long as they're getting away with it, we can't blame drivers. Who employ the drivers? So if you're a company, you should be responsible for employing unregistered drivers, and you should be responsible for your trucks. We see those trucks with their tires bending like this, and they're now calling driver.
And there was one thing, I like the fact that they are sending them out to those tank farms to make sure that before any vehicle loads and leaves, they check everything. They check the vehicle. I
hope they just do their job, because sometimes they bribe them and they let them go. So it's not, those checks are there, but it's like it's been sabotaged. That's a problem. Okay, moving on to Daily Sun, to Vanguard. We're done with Daily Sun.
Yeah.
There was a story I thought somebody took there. It was FRSC. Okay. Vanguard, forex spending on foreign education, health, defy Naira depreciation. Tinubu, Bauchi Governor, Foreign Minister Baker. World Cup fever, ex-internationals express fears. Army commander, 21 soldiers killed in Borno terrorist attack. 25 dead as explosion hits mining sites in Niger State. Brazil slams US after dozens of deportees arrived handcuffed. And Zenith Bank raises over 350 billion naira in rights issue public offer. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a story here from Menace. They said no fewer than 25 persons were yesterday confirmed dead following a mining explosion at a site in Sabon Pegi Mashegu local government area of Niger State. They said besides the dead persons, they said several others were said to have suffered various degrees of injuries. They've been transferred to various hospitals at New Busa. They said the residents are still searching for more bodies, and many, especially women and children, are said to be missing, and some they are suspecting that they are buried under the rubbles. So the explosion had also reduced many residential buildings and shops to rubbles as well, and the cause of the explosion was unknown as at the time of the report, but some sources are now saying that a device exploded in that area. So it was alleged that a man simply identified as Yushao, based in New Busa, stored an explosive in his uncle's house, which he was using at a shop, Sabon Pegi, where it exploded. And they said immediately that explosion happened, he disappeared, and they've been looking for him. However, the military had cordoned off the area. So they said that, the explosion happened when the miners were just resuming work in the morning, and the villagers were now afraid to go close to the area because of what had happened. They were also suspecting that more explosions could happen as well, and there was also terrorist activities around the area of that explosion, but they are still looking for this particular person who allegedly has stored the explosives in the shop. They had stored it based off of using it to do the illegal mining, and that's where they were storing it. So hopefully they'll be able to find him, and it's just unfortunate that a lot of people had to die and
really
houses razed down in the area.
Let me take the major headline, because things are not working as many as the CBN or the government had thought. So according to this report, despite over 30% Naira depreciation, Nigerians have increased their spending on foreign education and health. was increased by 26% to $2.3 billion in the first 9 months of 2024.
We are resilient people.
So the upsurge in spending, according to the stakeholders in the education and health sector, is an indictment on the country's university system and health sector. But that's one way of looking at it. And that way of looking at it is that Nigerians just have a thirst for things that are foreign.
Just resilience.
We just, you can be resilient. It could also be that, yes, we can't have, we don't want our children to school here. We can't let it be $1 billion. We will spend the money, but not school in Nigeria. Or an indictment of the government for not ensuring that they invest enough in education and health sector. But consequently, it's quite interesting. The numbers are quite staggering. $1.8 billion in first time, that's first for education. And what's the other one? The health increased by 24.8%. It moved to $465 million.
I felt our health sector was actually, there was a lot of improvement and people are doing their surgeries here, but maybe the data is showing otherwise.
I think it's a hot topic.
Yes,
at some point.
Yes, it is. Okay. I want to take the story of Brazil. So Brazil is blowing hot.
Oh, you found the story?
Yes, I found it. Online, actually. The Brazil government has expressed outrage. On Saturday, the US deported some of their citizens in handcuffs.
Wow.
And they were chained both on the hand and on the leg.
Wow.
And they said they were not allowed to eat water, drink water. The plane didn't have air conditioner. They were stuffy. They couldn't use the restroom. It was inhumane, the treatment they had to endure. So the foreign ministry of Brazil had said they would demand explanation on the degrading treatment of their passengers on the plane. The plane even actually had issues, which was probably why they didn't have the air condition. They were supposed to land in a different place, but they landed in a different place. People are attributing this to Trump's hardline anti-immigration policy, but they say that's not actually what happened, that they had been, this particular set of people had been in a conversation since 2017 or something, and that there was a stalled bilateral agreement that led to their deportation, but they were not criminals.
So why are they going
illegal immigrants? They shouldn't have been treated that way, and so there will be demand for explanation.
Trump's policy might not be directly, but it could be indirectly and influenced why they were handcuffed. He kind of gives them
body language.
Yeah, the body language of the presidency directs how people behave.
Nobody should be allowed to get away with this kind of things.
No,
government.
Is there any other important story in Vanguard, because we have to wrap up?
Yes, just the Bazbo story. Let me quickly just go through it. Some members of the Governance Advisory Council, GAC, the apex advisory organ in Lagos State, disagreed yesterday over the process that led to the impeachment of the former speaker. You know, this said
that was done wrongly.
Yes,
said it was done rightly.
And then the secretary now said that it's a family affair.
Okay.
And the
Yes, Etolia.
Okay, let's go on a short break. When we come back, go to the hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regulars.
So let me go and look for my jam results. So
my 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Can you close the show?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, And number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym, though. You're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make a relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the better? You see some sports.
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Entertainment with your entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Thanks for staying with us. So, the former Speaker, Mudashi Obasa, recently was impeached in Lagos State as Speaker of the House of Assembly. He claimed that the election of Honorable Mojisola Miranda as the new Speaker did not follow the law. Claims his impeachment was carried out using a fake mace and police intimidation, declaring his removal null and void. Now, obviously, social media has gone on to have their thoughts on this. And we read in the papers also that the GAC had said that they resolved this internally. But the conversation around it was the process illegal, and the allegations that was made about the speaker. How do Nigerians see it, and how do they hope the government can take it forward from there? That's really the conversation this morning. You can call us on 08107641679, 09024163440. You can also send us messages on X and YouTube. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. One of the reasons why we have this kind of conversations is because we need to learn from each other and learn from the process. Lagos State has always been the forerunner in adopting and ensuring due process and seeing that things are done differently and properly. So when we see things happen, we have to think to ourselves, okay, is this how it's supposed to be done? Was it done properly? And if we're going to be leaders in this area, let us ensure that we follow due process. But let me start with you. What are your thoughts on the entire battle going on in the Lagos State House of Assembly?
There's been a lot of controversy within the Lagos House of Assembly. They've had there's been a false sense of calm over the past, over 4 years within the Assembly, right from the time when the former Speaker, who is the former Speaker because right now we have another Speaker, was said to have demoted some members of the floor from being majority leader, suspended some people, withheld their pay. There's been issues within the State Assembly, but they just sort of like there was a sugarcoating going on, falsely making it look like things were good when things were not good. And that pretense has been sustained for as long as they can sustain it. Right now, we are at the point where it is not sustainable anymore. So what we are seeing is offshoot of a long-term issue. And I feel that it is good for the democracy for there to be a bit of conflict. And within the State Assembly, we're not meant to agree. We're meant to agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, come to a resolution. We see other countries that have a more mature democracy, the way the arguments go on in the assembly, but it doesn't get physical or personal, and some places get physical. So I'm happy about this for our democracy. Let us fight it out and go to court and find out what is the right way to go about it. There are allegations online that according to the former speaker, the mace used was fake. The people said he actually kept the mace because he felt that this kind of thing might happen. And I said the mace is supposed to be symbolic, whether it is real or fake and all of that. But what worried me most was the response of it is a family matter. The Lagos State House of Assembly issues is not a family matter for a group of people to decide. Every member of the Lagos State House of Assembly are voted by state citizens. Lagosians voted for them. And everything done should be done with the law in mind. It's not a family affair. You shouldn't be discussed as a family affair because the impact of what goes on there sets precedents for future. Yeah. And we are working on our democracy right now. So nobody behind the scenes should be able to say, we will resolve the issue of what happened on the floor of this Lagos State Assembly. It should be resolved on the floor by members of the State Assembly.
Yes, interesting angle. Interesting angle. So I'm going to come from both ways. One, that we follow as a lawyer, we follow the Constitution. And Section 92, Subsection 2C of the Constitution states how, a presiding officer should be or can be removed and approached. Yes, and that if you have like less than 2/3 majority of the House members, the motion can be moved for a removal. And from what we saw, that happened. Even though Obasa is saying that he doesn't have a problem with him being removed, but that due process should be followed. Like BC rightly said that, like Thomas said, that the mace is a symbol of authority. So if something that is a symbol of authority that is for public use, it's not for personal or private use, you took it to go and hide. That means you knew there was impending danger. You knew that something is coming to happen or whatever. Is it your private property? The mace does not belong to you. So you hid it, but they brought another one, which is a symbol of authority, and they used it to do what they carry out the constitutional, thing that they wanted to do. That's one. Then secondly, he said that policemen invaded the House of Assembly, and then they invaded his house, right? And then his kids were locked out, and that his wife was kept under house arrest. The wife was not allowed to leave. Now, that is not constitutional, and that should not have happened. If that actually happened, that should not have happened, because this man, regardless of the fact that you've impeached him from a particular position, he's still a member of the House, right? He's still in service, and you shouldn't just treat people in that manner. Right. If there are certain allegations to be had, or the police should follow due process and bring those things, and not carry out.
So there's always also the angle of administrative procedure. So he's no longer supposed to be at the speaker's house that is allocated to him. However, even if he has been changed and there's a new speaker, there should be a time limit, time frame where he's given the opportunity to leave, not to come and be harassed. But let me come to you, BC. What are your thoughts on all the drama that happened?
Yes, so we've been hearing whispers for a very long time now about what's been going on in the House of Assembly. Like Tope rightly said, whispers of there's usually misconduct. He's suspending people who stand up to challenge him. They've had issues where he had, suspended people. Some people have even said that they have seized what their pecs of office was not given to them as well, because of some of the issues of, he's doing something that is not really right, and people are standing up to challenge him. So we've heard those whispers there. So I wasn't really shocked when I heard the impeachment. And one of the reasons they mentioned for impeachment is gross misconduct and abuse of office. And for them to impeach, like you rightly said, you have to have a 2/3. So when I saw the video of the impeachment, I saw that they say, everybody yays. Nobody nays. I was like, is it that bad that everybody sitting in the room for whatever reason, whatever you call it, yes, even if you say it's politically motivated, however you call it, no one person could say nay to nay you away from. No, there was no nay. Nay, no, they there. The one where I see, no nay. It was yay. 33 of them yay it. And I heard 40. Yeah, no, but I heard some had traveled. They were not available. So maybe those ones we send their own yay from wherever they are. But however, they just did about 20-something to get that to third. So the impeachment actually works. Now, when I heard him talking on live television, he was talking about the fact that he's very confident. They did not do it the right way, the procedure, blah, 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 blah. I also want him to realize that this is not... he shouldn't equate himself with the governor. They don't need permission for him to be impeached, right? The executive system is different from the what's it called? The House of Assembly, the parliamentary, the way they do things, their constitution is really different. So a speaker is necessarily not higher than anybody's. Like the way we are on the table, for instance, right? And you now want to do you now want to a speaker. You can be a speaker in the morning and in the afternoon. They want to try somebody else. Maybe they feel like Tokpa is not speaking so well now. We want Amaka. It's not something that's that big that they have to go through processes, take permission, and it just happens. You are all supposed to be on the same status in the house. But people have said and have felt that he took the power so much. He felt like he was larger than life, even in their midst, understanding that he was there to serve and he was their pair as well. He's just the mouthpiece. So he got carried away according to people's opinion, and that's one of the reasons that they feel like this power is intoxicating him so much.
Leader amongst equals. So you see, I get that. Yeah, leader amongst equals. But the thing is, and I think I'd like to harp on what Tokpa said earlier. This is politics, and it shouldn't be personal. We should. In fact, I think aside from the fact that people had the various versions on how this was carried out, I think is a way to strengthen our democracy to even see him accepting that, okay, if you guys think I can't lead you, I'll step aside, but do it properly. And I think that he coming to the house also hopefully will resume, because he's a very influential leader in Agege. He's been there for a long time. He's come back maybe 4 or 5 times. 6 times. He's been back. So he's loved by his people. So this is a lawmaker that we cannot mistreat in any way. So however, it's important for him to also accept the humble pie. Eat the humble pie and see that the people have said, you can't lead us anymore. We want you to stay aside. And I think he should accept that in good faith. But really and truly, I really believe that Lagos State, the GAC part, which Tokpa had mentioned, I think there's a part of the elders. So the law will take its position, because there are still allegations. There are still issues of misappropriation. So EFCC matter will come. And I don't think the GSC or the family members are saying, don't do your work. But as family members, we must also mediate. There's always the position of mediation amongst equals, amongst friends, amongst party members, where you say, let us come in and explain that this is the reason why the people have set you aside. So there's a part where family members must play. There's a part where GSC must come to play in this. I don't really think they are totally excluded.
It shouldn't be excluded.
But it doesn't mean that the law will not take its course.
At this level. We can't have someone at this level in this season of our democracy, and the resolution is family discussion. No, it not. It doesn't.
That's a democracy.
It doesn't strengthen our democracy.
It doesn't.
It empowers a few people. So we will lobby the few people to get away with what we should do. While in actual fact, what we should be doing, we will respect them. We will respect the GAC because they deserve the honor, but we must ensure we create a system that do not empower one person above the majority.
So I hear you, but let me say why I disagree with you. As you said before, our democracy hasn't matured to the point where they are independent minds. You still need people who are going to direct you, because trust me, a lot of Nigerians, you tell them to vote before for accountability or both for competence, and they won't. They'll do most of our infrastructure because of the level where our democracy is. The truth is, as a people, we still need those elders who are going to direct and move the ship where we want it to go. So I think the part where the GAC is playing is where they're saying, this has happened. The people have said, you cannot be our speaker. Come in, if there are any grievances, let us resolve, because you are still a party member. You are still a member of this family. We're not discarding you. You are still a member of this family. It doesn't mean that the law will not take its course.
You are giving a coloration to
I'm
the
telling
resolution.
you that you are choosing, you are looking at it in one way. I can choose to look at it in a different way. A family meeting does not mean that I'm not letting the law take its course. I'm saying that as a family member, we are members, like for example, where your view now. There could be issues where there are times where in the early days where the ladies have been suspended for one thing or the other. I can suspend you because you do something wrong, because that's the process. But we can have a meeting where you are disgruntled. Why would Morale suspend me? Then we'll not have a family meeting. Say the reason why you have to be suspended is because X, Y, and Z.
But you don't put it in the face of the viewers that you suspended.
No,
you have to resolve the meeting.
It shouldn't be out in the open. Okay, let me come in here, right? So we're in a democratic system, and the governing advisory council is there for a reason. And we have seen in the past, even currently, how politicians and politics can now be a fight and messy, and we were all rubbing ourselves in the mud, which does not align to the reasons and the purpose why they are there in the first place. So instead of spending the time to govern and to do what they're supposed to legislate and do what they're supposed to do, they spend so much time
doing family meetings,
doing private matters, doing politics, doing other things, right? And that is why the governing advisory council is there, to be able to see everything is happening, but let's come together, eye on the ball, and focus on what we are supposed to focus on. Make sure that due process is being carried out. And like Maria also restated, this man is still a member of the house, regardless of anything. And if the allegations have been brought against him, as he's doing this, is either you suspend him or they allow EFCC, allow the police do their work while things are being carried out. That does not. When all these allegations and proper due process has been taken, you cannot bring the result to the general public. That's a democratic. They're making it public, right? But you don't need to now make the whole muddy, messy. We've already done that. Can we now focus on what's...
No, the reason why it should be our business...
it's our business.
Let me tell you, and I'd like to hear your own thoughts, PC, on this. The reason why you think it should... Because the reason why it should be our business is because people will think... People start making insinuations or start thinking different things in different quarters. If we know that the people... is being resolved when it comes the emotional, all the issues of the fracas that is happening amongst the party members. If we know that the party, because there's politics and there's governance, they are two different things.
But they
and there's the law.
One another.
So the truth is that somebody must address the political part, because there's a political game that must be played. So that's where politics is important, and we need the elders to steer the ship of those conversations.
I like the point you just raised. There's politics, there's governance, there's the law. The average Nigerian, average Lagosian, average Agege person, for instance, is not so concerned about the politics. We are more concerned about the dividends of governance, right? That is what affects us. If we decide to play a part in the politics, then we can sit at the table and say, okay, this is what has happened, this is the roles that we need to play. But a regular human being just wants to see that the rule of law is obeyed at every given point. The people who are making the laws are also obeying the laws. When the law catches up with the leaders, they also pay the price. That is all the message that needs to be passed across. Now, your intricacies, your politicking and all of that is not supposed to be for the general public. We see the Obodo Ibo places where they have their politicking and everything. They, see, when you watch some of their movies about this political, like 24, yes, the drama is intense. And you're wondering, but we don't see this. It's not shown to the public, right? You have to be inside to understand what this politics is all about. What the people see is the governance. What the people see is the result. So when you want to get the people involved in the mess, the mud, the politicking, the lobbying, the everything, the settling, the family matters and all of that, it waters down the governance. And that's why we say that most times these people are really not making the laws they're supposed to be making. They are focusing their energy on politicking and doing other things. So you also mentioned something about leaders are there to guide and direct. Unfortunately, a stupid young person may likely become a stupid old man. White hair is not always wisdom. So if we have systems in place, whether you are wise or not, everybody follows the system. We go faster than when we are holding on and waiting for elders who most of the time are the rich and wise to be leading us every day. That's why we're crawling at this snail space. pay attention to the systems, the modalities. Is it democracy? If the rule of law is broken, what do we do about it? Focus on that and see how fast we'll move as a nation, as a state, as a country.
Let me tell you
just waiting for elders to use their emotions. Let me tell you why this one speaks our language better than all of
Let me bring another angle for you. So you see, because sometimes we see things in one angle.
Yeah.
Another angle, let's just say that we are members of a group now. And we want, and this is the person who has been helping us ensure that this cup is full. That's his job.
Okay.
And every day he attains to ensure that this cup is full. Now, there's a grievance. This guy is, maybe he was impeached. So this is a former speaker. Now, as members of the GAC, it's important because I need this man who is handling, this is Agege. This is an important constituency for us.
Okay.
I need him to do the job he's been doing because we've been doing it consistently for many years now.
Okay.
He's delivering. He's a leader. Okay. I don't want this man to go to another party. I don't want him to go to and start a new party. Okay. I need that work he's doing. Okay. So even though there's a legal issue, I, as a family member, I need to call him for say, you have to boss. This is what's going on. We'll resolve it because what he is controlling is extremely important. That's the political part of this system.
So
we don't see. So the point is that Nigeria must see the connections.
Yes.
So that is important, just as the politics, the governance is important.
We're not removing the politics. And you have explained it so eloquently, there's no need to reiterate it. It's important. But we have seen how where politics has brought us, which is where we still have so many things that needs to be done that isn't getting done because we're trying to ensure we reserve the vote. I remember watching the video of the speaker talking about the governor and saying, my allegiance is to the party and ensuring the party remains.
That's the system.
No. What is legal is different from what he said. What he said is politically strong and relevant for him and his position. But it is not strengthening the structure
and democracy.
Of our democracy. So we know where he stands. We know where his loyalty is. He is a consummate politician and it has kept him in that position for a long time. How well has he served in preserving the power of that system and the system. In protecting the system. We have people that have been in the house for a long time and seniority is not being respected
at all
in how positions are being assigned. We have new entrants into the assembly getting high positions that they do not have allegedly do not have the competence to handle, and that is now becoming a norm. We are creating a precedent that does not strengthen our democracy for the gain of politics. It is wrong. So let us discuss the power of politics, but let's also discuss the importance of
democracy.
And also, I think that was well said. Yes, and I think you did a good job with that. Go ahead.
And also let me add to what she wants, because that's what I wanted to say. That power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Because from what you said, you are not looking at the fact that allegations have been brought against this person that is filling the cup. Whether you're filling cup or not filling cup or whatever, right? If there's corruption,
allegations here.
No, that's a different matter. It's still part of it.
Has somebody
it's still part of it. If you're whether you're filling cup or not filling cup, and then we are sticking strictly to our democracy and the law. And allegations of corruption has been brought against you. You have to face the book. And let me tell you something. There's so many people in Agege constituency that can fill that cup and it will overflow.
With few buckets.
So we don't. It's not about politics anymore, like she rightly said. We need to focus on ensuring that our democracy is protected, and that no one person feels that they are Lord and master.
Every time, elders and wisdom.
I think I like the way the conversation is going, because the idea really is to get different perspective and help Nigerians understand the various views. But I see that I like the various angles, and I think we can wrap up on this. I think we're done. But any comments on social media so we can finish up on this?
Lots of comments. Olufemi says power is transient. He should let go and move on with his political life. Another person. Akin Taiwo said the former speaker of Asa should sit down. This is being a speaker is not his birthright. A lot of people have wisdom in Agege. Mina TP says Lagos is about continuity and it's a progressive state. However, whatever oils their will GAC or not is obviously working.
Emmanuel says corruption, they said family matters. No wonder Nigeria is not moving forward. Nigeria needs strong institutions, not strong men.
Olakunle said power is transcends. He should let go and move on with his political life.
And Mina TP says, okay, Lagos State is about continuity and a progressive state. Whatever else their wheels, GAC is not is obviously working.
As you know, the GAC is not a constitutionally recognized organization. It's an APC constructor. Yeah. So I think it's their own decision is within their own party and affiliations. It has nothing to do with the law or the constitution. I think we can wrap up on this. Unless you want to take a few calls, maybe you can go on a short break.
I think the entire world is watching.
Yeah.
The entire country is watching.
Yeah.
And how it plays out would be very, very.
But so far, I think it's been good. I mean, so far, I think that we haven't had anybody beating up anybody.
No, they cannot.
So far, we're still good. And I think the new speaker, I mean, in fact, let me go and if you could come back and talk about this new speaker. I've not seen her smile since she's like, this woman. People have gone
the head.
People have come to her office when they're doing what they call the courtesy visit. She's like,
uneasy lies the head.
Greeting her
because there's a lot of expectation.
I'm thinking, Auntie, are we fighting? What is
no, she's not there to smile.
Let's go in a very short. We're going to come back. We'll take a few calls and then we wrap up on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
But so far from information we got,
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
By 280 or 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Yeah, that's all we can take.
I choose
to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And number 1, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah, but you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat.
Cricket.
She says she does show dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying. So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
The empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too. Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to sus? What's his name?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's get talk now.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. TVC Entertainment for pure entertainment.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC.
Thanks for staying with us. So just wrapping up on the speaker story, we're going to take a few more comments and then take a few phone calls. I was saying before the break about the new Miranda, Honorable Mujisola Miranda, and I mean, I've not known her before now. I've not known. I mean, she's been representing her papa, and I know that. I mean, a lot of all the women leaders in Lagos that have gone to visit her, paid her to visit the commissioners, female commissioners. They were there to see her. Other female leaders have gone there as a group. Various groups have gone to, Lagos, when the government people, they sabi courtesy visit, like, that is the major part. They are all there showing up to our office, which is good. But as I said, I observed she had a stern look. She had this poker look of, face. I am not even moving an inch. You're not going to see me break a smile. Okay. As a new speaker, I would have just liked to get an inkling of who the kind of person.
I need to understand that people have their different personalities, right? And your personality is what you bring to your office. Exactly. So she may not be the chatty, smiley kind of person. She's someone who, when it's a courtesy call, anything that has to do officially, she has to keep that expression. That is who she is, and that's how she's able to function. We have a dancing senator, governor, and we complained here that you are dancing too much, and that's his personality, and it doesn't stop him from doing his work. Exactly. Now we have seen someone that is serious-minded who is not smiling. We want to start complaining. Nigerians speak a hustle.
What do you want?
Smile or no smile, grumble, dance or no dance, people would complain. So let's accept people for who they are. Maybe when you get close after the meetings, you may see that she's friendly and all of that, but when she's doing her job, that's who she is. Let's take
and most important, and most importantly, it's not like that she has said she's keeping that face and she has said, no, you cannot visit me, you cannot. She's been welcoming.
Thank you.
That's the most important thing. You can welcome people without smiling. Maybe you're smiling in your heart. That's what is more important, the intent. So
she said she put out a tweet. Let me read her tweet.
Okay.
She said that, thank you for your felicitations, words of prayer, advice and support. We remain committed to delivering on our promise to ensure inclusive, just and collaborative legislation for the Greater Lagos. Okay, I mean that's based on how. But what are your thoughts on?
I'm of the opinion that I'm happy that we have a female speaker in Lagos. I think that for a long time, especially since the current governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, we've always had that female element. Lagos had always tried to balance it. You have the governor and the vice would be, deputy governor would be a woman, but we didn't have that in the last 5 years. So I feel like this is a good one for representation. We know that our women are smart. Naturally, women are multitaskers, women are leaders, and women are a pillar of democracy. We don't have any election without the women in Nigeria. So it's important that they are put in that same position of power. I also feel like being a speaker and a female speaker, you'll be judged whichever way. If she was a smiley one, people say she was smiling too much. If she was steady,
don't worry, let me pause you for a second. People, they started sending me pictures of where she smiled. So hopefully our producer can post some of this so that our viewers can see it.
There'll always be that. But she needs she's entering into a role that the person who had it has had it for long. So there's, with all sense of seriousness, take that job. Like I cannot joke with this. I must not. You are representing too many women. You must not fall our hand. All of us are looking to you that what you are doing there must be done well. But there's also an indication how the former speaker was impeached, and in a short while there was a massive alignment to the new speaker. The alignment was swift.
Politics will shock you.
The voting for, or rather the voting against the former speaker was a landslide. That's an indication of leadership gap. Leadership is about influence. You don't compel, you don't force it. If you have your people, they must be loyal to you at every point in time. For you to have that large number of people, and you are still saying you are the speaker, honestly, at that point, your speech should be that, I hear you. The speech of the former speaker should be, I hear you loud and clear. If I have left this house for this long and this number of people vote me out, you are sending me a message. I will work on my leadership and show you what I'm capable of. That for me is the message. Don't take things personal. Leaders must learn to take feedback and embrace an opportunity for growth, because that's your journey. You still have many more years. Honorable former Speaker Obasa, you still have many more years in politics, and this is a learning curve. Don't take it personal, don't fight it. Learn, and political journey still continues. You have enough voting block.
I really think that's a very powerful statement that you have talked about, because the truth is, that's what you said, it's not personal. Let things be done officially. We always personalize things as if, oh, it's me, they don't like me. Yes, they might not like you, but it's still feedback. Everything you see. So I think that I totally agree with you. But going back to the new speaker, because I really wanted us to talk to her as we wrap up more. What are the expectations? Somebody said earlier that she's representing lots of women. That is there. But she also has a huge cap to fit, because this is somebody that a lot of people will be, she'll also be, the issue of fear. You know, there was the fact that this former speaker had quite a bit of following. Yes, there was a switch, but there are some people that are still loyal to him. They'll probably go with the pack. But really behind them, they might actually not be truly in support of her. So she must also be very careful with who and who she's felicitating with, and who she's bringing into her space, her corner. It's important that she look at all those sides.
So let's not also underestimate the power of a woman. She's been dead since 2015.
She knows.
That is a long time. And I want to believe that she has a lot of following and a strong, backup, right? And that over time, she has also built her own community for everybody to just switch
align to her.
And align to her, right? And even if the former speaker has his own following, you can see, like Tope rightly said, there's a gap. If you were that strong, and you were doing what you were supposed to do, you won't be here in the first place.
Trust politicians.
Let me land. Okay. So let us we've put our faith in this amazing, hardworking woman, and we're going to give her time. And I know and I trust that she's going to. I have faith that she's going to deliver. Okay. Yes.
So don't trust politicians.
I want don't trust politicians. Sometimes we assume that we are all that. And we go with that, I am all that. I am the all in all. Everybody wants me. Everybody likes me. Everybody listens to me. And we stop to begin to read the room. we lose that. And as a leader, you must read the room at every point. You must read when that smell that used to come 5 meters has shrunken to 3 and to 2. And when the smile finally disappears, on the faces of the people that you are leading, it's very important. And I want to believe that this woman here has learned from what has happened to Obasa, right? She should learn from what has happened to Obasa. She should always make sure that she carries, it's difficult to carry everybody along, but make sure that the majority of the people see your transparency and what you are trying to do from time to time. So check back, keep checking, keep asking the questions, if you need to be throwing the, what do they call it, these feedback forms that you throw on, so that people don't write their names. They can say exactly what they feel. Anonymity, thank you. Without writing their names, let them do it from time to time. That helps you to take a step back when you are misstepping. Because power actually intoxicates. It does.
So it's not as if Obasa was checking, because he got there 6 times, so he was doing the right thing. But at some point, there was intoxication.
He may also not be checking. He may, because in politics,
6 times?
Yes, in politics, people go align with people that they benefit from. So he may have been very, he may have been very magnanimous in whatever he was sharing to get a lot of his loyalties, and now forgot himself that not everybody can actually be bought. I'm just speculating, I'm not in the house, I'm not in politics, allegedly.
Choose your words carefully.
I am saying as a political analyst, I am saying, right? So it's possible he now forgot that it's not about what I can do. Some people are looking for beyond what you can do for me to what you can do for the state.
We all agree this handwriting was on the wall.
Yes, we've been hearing it.
Okay, it's time to close this topic.
We finished this.
All right, there's no comments, Abi?
Plenty comments there.
No more comments. Let's go break. That is all we can take on this segment. Any important comment that is popping at you? Okay, there's none. All right, let's go on a very short break. But I think in a nutshell, I think what I'd like us to leave, I think Tokwe had stated it properly, the way I wanted it to be stated, is the fact that he has to take this as feedback. This is Lagos State. They set the pace on a lot of things. And I think what we need to do as a country is to see that in this situation, the former speaker has taken the humble pie, taken the feedback from his people, and accept to be a member of the House of Assembly and do his work diligently and support the new speaker.
True.
And throw his allegiance to her. And when we see that, what that does is strengthens the system and strengthens our democracy. I think that's what Nigerians want to see. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, move on to another very trending topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 20 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
Okay, that's all we can take.
I choose
to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, #1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for #1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym though, you're getting fat. Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
What's the difference?
There's a difference.
That's what I'm saying.
So pole dancer, you're already almost naked. You're already almost naked.
No, the empowerment for me.
Sex can make your relationship better.
No.
Sex can never be overrated.
It is needed.
Especially when it's good sex too.
Almost every guy has been with somebody's girlfriend.
But they are for all of us now.
That's why you're still single.
I would not agree or disagree with that because I don't want to get into trouble. I have a home to go to.
Your next question.
Oh, you ready to fail?
Who is the person that used to some sports?
That woman.
Damn!
Today we'll go here.
Hey.
Let's catch up.
And so we've been able to satisfy your cravings, yeah? Stay good. Pure Entertainment.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite.
Thanks for staying with us. So an unconfirmed number of people have died in a fuel tanker explosion in Enugu State just early in the week. The same thing had happened in Niger State, where after crashing, local residents gathered to collect spilled fuel, which promptly caused an explosion that killed 98 people and injured another 69, including at least 52 critically injured. Now, following the presidential directive in community sensitization on the dangers of scooping fuel from fallen oil tankers, the National Orientation Agency has taken the campaign far and wide, and the latest was in Gurara community in Abuja. The Director General of the agency believes that community engagement is one of the strategies to educate members to curb the menace. Join us to discuss the safety measures in place, preventive actions considered, and government response plan is the Director General of the National Orientation Agency himself, Mallam Lanre Isa Onilu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Good morning to have. Good to have you on the show. So tell us a bit about this sensitization drive across the nation, or especially as regards the spillage of tanker fuel that causes a lot of people to die.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is important that we take a holistic view of this issue. It's not just happening now. And it will be, impossible to assume that people do not know this is dangerous, ab initio. And that's why we continue to see this incident, happening all over and over again. Now, so what we did was to assess the situation, and we were a bit more nuanced in our approach. We realize that this is not just about awareness. Awareness is the easiest thing to do. But if you look at it, there's also the prosecution side of it, enforcement side of it. For instance, what happened in Diko, in Gurara local government of Niger State, the police and other security agencies actually arrived at the scene of that incident before the explosion. They got distress call and they responded immediately. And for more than 10 minutes, they tried to prevent these youth and children from accessing or moving near the product, that had spilled. But they were stoning the security agencies. They were stoning them, and the community did not, play any role in also ensuring that they prevented their children from, exposing themselves to this unfortunate, incident. So eventually, there was an explosion, and we know what happened eventually. So it goes beyond just telling people not to go there. They knew. If we had the opportunity of telling those who died, asking them questions some minutes before they died, they would tell you they knew the danger involved. So which means we must go beyond just awareness. But let me address the issue of awareness. Yeah, the president directed us to do that awareness, which is what we do on a daily basis. But what we have done differently this time is as I speak today, we have over 200 jingles in 200 Nigerian languages that we have produced. And we are using about 300 radio stations to air these jingles all over the country in every local government. We are talking to people in their own, language. And so that is on one side. The second one is to also work with all the stakeholders, the police, the civil defense, the road safety, the tanker drivers, the youth leaders, the community leaders, the traditional and the religious leaders, the parents. It takes the community, it must be community-led. Each community must stand up and say, no, our children will not be involved in this. That is, the aspect of awareness. So we have gone far and wide And as we speak, our 36 state offices and FCT office have been activated. And they are doing stakeholders engagement, advocacy visits, so it is not left to the individual to decide whether to go there or not. We are getting collective, effort put together to ensure that everybody is involved in the process of ensuring that when something happens, nobody goes near it. That is the first step we are taking.
Yeah.
But more importantly,
yes, I would like to ask a question. So, like you mentioned in one of the cases where the police officers had gone to cordon off the area and they were stoned by the residents in that place that wanted to scoop out the field. Do you think we have enough security personnel on ground to be able to, cordon off an area and secure it till the right thing is being done? Or do you think we need more in terms of not just the police now, but also the local vigilantes around the area? And what sort of conversations are you also having with maybe local chiefs in the different communities, the different local governments to, talk to their people? I know that you've done a lot in terms of awareness and jingles and all of that, but how repetitive is that, jingle and that awareness for people to understand the dangers of going to places like that?
Yes, you are very correct, and that's exactly the approach. That's why I said it has to be community-led. And for instance, when we got to Gurara, we brought all the traditional rulers in Gurara local government together. We brought the head of the vigilantes, who also were actually at the scene of the incident, and even their youth leader. The complaint was, the people would have been there ahead of the security people. So it was difficult. But the lesson the security agencies have learned from this is to devise a better approach, because at the end of the day, it's not just about those people not committing suicide. It's also about the fact that there will be consequences like we have with what happened in Diko. There are wives and children that have been left now who are going to face the consequences of their breadwinners dying cheaply. And so it's something that we must look, at beyond just people dying. There are a whole lot of also, issues around it. And so it has to be community-led. And that's why we are mobilizing the community to ensure that they insist that their children, it is their responsibility to first and foremost ensure that it is not going to happen, that their children will die cheaply anymore.
Okay.
So the community must be involved, and that's why we are bringing them in. Then there's also the aspect of the law. In the first place, this product, the petrol that has spilled on the road, belongs to somebody. It's somebody's property you're stealing. So it is stealing. So beyond even the issue of risk, there's also the issue of criminality in it. So if you're found stealing somebody, whether the thing spilled or falling off or wherever you find it, it's not your property. So you don't have a right to go and take what belongs to somebody. So that's another angle to look at it. Then another angle is to also say what has happened to us in this country. We are a people with empathy. We all know that when a product spills on the road, somebody's investment has gone bad. And instead of us, even if there are products, if this were to be a product that we could salvage, we should be doing that to help the business owner to recover whatever it could recover from the loss, not to take advantage of ourselves. That's not who we are in this country. And that's the essence of the value system, the national value charter we are trying to drive. That we must realize who we are. We must have a definition of our identity. There are things that we do and things that we do not do. That we must have a duty of care towards ourselves.
All right. Okay. So you talked about the fuel owner, and so I think we should talk about preventive measures in the sense that and the responsibility the farm tank owners owe to the general public in terms of pushing out good trucks onto the road. So are you working with FRSC? Are you in collaboration with FRSC? Because in line with what they said and what we read in today's papers, where they said that now they want to deploy their agents to the tank farms to make sure that they check the valves, they check everything about the trucks before they let them on the road, so that these things don't even happen in the first place. And then they can now, and as you said, that you're working with the local government. If there's a tank farm in a particular local government, If something happens, are they supposed to deploy another vehicle immediately? What is the preventive measure an action to take immediately this kind of thing happens, so that you don't give time for people to gather and for things like this to the crash, the scooping of fuel, and putting lives at risk to happen?
Thank you very much. That's a very brilliant one. What we have done immediately, we have written many of these stakeholders, including NOPENG, including the Tanker Drivers Association, including the downstream, petroleum agency, to engage with them. There must be guidelines. Guidelines start from the depot. What kind of vehicle, what kind of truck, what kind of tanker can come in? What are the safety measures? What are the things to inspect? How do you get qualified to even lift the fuel in the first place? So that is one thing that we are working with the stakeholders, those who are in charge of that. There must be clear guidelines that everybody understands. There must be inspectors. The road safety must also work with them to ensure that on the road, they can back up to see whether a particular tanker has gamed the system or has complied with the basic guidelines. So all of this we must do. But you see, we also discovered that there are spots in this country that have been identified that are prone to this incident. And that's why you have many trucks and trailers parked on the side of the road. We have identified all of these spots, and we are sending to the agencies, responsible, like the road safety, to ensure that they prevent these people from parking by the side of the road. Road must be free for vehicles to move, unfettered. And so that is one thing. Then again, there are some spots also that there are bad, road, where you have craters, you have all kinds of potholes that also make it difficult for vehicles to maneuver themselves, especially when they already carry this kind of product. So we are also going to work with all of those people to ensure that the Ministry of Works, for instance, identify this road, and whatever remedial measure that can be taken is taken. So it has to be holistic, to ensure that this does not happen anymore. But again, it's also a developmental challenge that this is. It's part of our developmental issue. Once our rail system is fully developed in the near future, which this government is working seriously on, many of these things will not even find themselves to the road. But before that time, we must ensure that we don't die cheaply in this country. And the government cares so much about this issue.
Right.
I'm happy about all the advocacy going on. I think it's a case of giving different perspective, and I'm happy that you gave a perspective of the fact that it is actually also like you're stealing somebody's property, and the casualty for this one is huge. But we actually know that many Nigerians, once even if it is beans or rice or even anything, once anything accident happens, people just go there and loot. There is a looting mindset. Yeah. So beyond the immediate effect we want with this particular scenario, how about long-term reorientation plans to help Nigerians become different in how they react to things like this when they happen? The idea of, it's free food, let's go and grab it. Let's call your friends and family. Instead of, let us help pack these things together for the owners of the property. How are you going about that reorientation and educating Nigerians? I would advise schools and all that, but let me hear what you've done so far so that Nigerians know how far you've gone.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, that is what we, right from the beginning over a year ago, we sat down and said, no, we're not going to do palliatives. In this particular issue of value system, we must do something that is sustainable, that will be everlasting, and that will be concrete, and it will be institutionalized. And that's why we came up with the National Identity Project, under which we have the National Values Charter. And the president, if you read his New Year speech, he stated clearly that it will be one of his priorities this year, and he was going to launch the National Value Charter first quarter of this year. And I can tell you that a lot of activities are already ongoing to ensure that it's launched and that the country embark on a holistic and sustainable value system and value orientation. But first and foremost, it's not just making noise in the media. It's about doing things that would make the bad boys to be uncomfortable in this country. Anybody with bad behavior must find himself to be a defiant, to be isolated. to not fit into the system. As we have today, it is those who want to do good that feel hurt. You know, when you are trying to be better, you find yourself almost lonely. So we must reverse that. And that is what this value system is all about. And we do not want to reduce it to sloganeering or making all sort of noise in the media without planning something that, you know, everybody would be able to key into. So that's why we created the National Value Charter that define clearly the responsibilities of the leadership and as well as the responsibility of the followership. And we also have 7 institutionalization policies so that this thing can be institutionalized and it can go beyond any government. And so once we have institutions that are driving the values system, you know, it makes it easy for the country to emerge. So we cannot just have a document. I mean, there are many documents in this country. Implementation is key. That's why we are ensuring that there are institutions that will drive this. And you will recall that September last year, we took this to the Federal Executive Council, and they approved all our requests regarding setting up all these institutions of nurturing, where all of us will be nurtured on this value system. And no matter what route you take, you know, growing up, you will encounter these institutions that will pass on to you those values that are necessary and that define you as a Nigerian.
Right. Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past few years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company not just in Nigeria but throughout continental Africa to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
Do you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment.
thanks for staying with us. We still have with us the DG of the National Orientation Agency himself, Mr. Mallam Lanre. Sir, I want to talk to you. I wanted to ask you about NARTO. That's the National Association of Road Transport Owners. They are the ones that have the responsibility of the tanker, the health of the tankers, to ensure that the drivers are competent. How are you taking your orientation, sensitization plans and strategy to NARTO?
Yeah, I'm not sure I got that question very well.
So NARTO, that's talk about the National Association of Road Transport Owners. How are you sensitizing them to ensure the health of these trucks that they put on the road, also with the competence of the drivers?
Yes, as we did in Gurara local government, that is being replicated in all the 774 local governments as I speak, engaging with all these stakeholders, including the national, that is the Road Transport National Association of Nigeria and the other arm of it. So everybody is being brought on board. Like I said, the security agencies, the community leaders, the road transporters, the vigilante. Everybody is being brought, not just on the issue of fuel tanker, falling off the road, but also in all the areas of orientation. We work with all the stakeholders. And as we speak in NOA, we have huge data of all these relevant stakeholders in all the local government. You can ask for the chairperson or the secretary of any association, whether onion seller, whether yam seller, whether hairdresser. We have all of these people that we engage with on a continuous basis, telling them what government is doing, getting feedback from them, and telling them what is expected of them as Nigerians. So the road transporters are fully brought into this issue. Even in the area of the farmer herders, we have engagement with the Miyeti Allah, we have with farmer association, we have with all sorts of stakeholders, on a continuous basis. But like I said, until we have definitive value system, where everybody will even understand what it means to be a Nigerian, before we can begin to locate ourselves, whether you are a good Nigerian or not. As we have today, we do not have any clear definition of who a Nigerian is. And then people can do whatever they like and still say they are proud to be Nigerians. So you can't be proud to be Nigerians if you are behaving badly.
When we talk about value systems, sometimes I always feel that our approach to getting back this value is always too academic. It's about throwing messages out there, trying to take people, because people don't listen to what they feel that would influence, that they can benefit from. I feel, as government, maybe a better strategy is when we honor people's work. So, for example, we have Mr. John, who he does in poultry farming, and we see how Mr. John is honored with the work he does, and we see the value change of how he actually helps people to put food on the table. Is those value in the work the average Nigerian does, that we put out there, that communicates to Nigerians how they must respect a man who is into poultry, and when they see his chicken fall off on the expressway, they don't pack it and that's possibly Mr. Johnson's chicken, and we have to put it back for him to continue to work so he can have eggs on the table. So that value change must be set to Nigeria indirectly. All those direct messages sometimes comes across too academic for Nigerians. And what other strategies? Well, the question therefore is, what other indirect strategies are you applying, aside from just putting out messages and jingles and adverts? What other indirect strategies are you adopting to help with this value we're trying to bring back?
Yeah, that is why we need to put in place institutions of nurturing or of indoctrination, as I said. For instance, the 7 institutions that we have identified have the potential to create a lasting value orientation for our country. For instance, I can tell you that by September this year, the federal government would launch the citizenship study, which will become compulsory subject from primary school to tertiary institution. As we speak, following our request from FEC in September last year and the approval we got, as we speak, the agency in charge of developing curriculum is working tirelessly to incorporate all this value orientation programs into the curriculum, for Nigeria from primary school. And as of today, they have done up to JSS3 from primary 1. And then it will be, so by September, it will be launched. And that would become part of our system, that anybody who passes through the 4 wall of a school would be drilled and given value orientation as a compulsory, subject, and will grow up with this orientation. So it's not going to be happenstance. It has to be something that is incorporated in us right from that. We're also working with the agencies in charge of artisans to ensure that when they plan program to upskill artisans, value orientation is also incorporated into the curriculum of even artisans in this country. So where you're learning carpentry, you're learning bricklaying or hairdressing, value orientation is incorporated into all of this. And we are also soon to launch the citizen brigades, which is fashioned after Boy Scout and Girl Guides, that will be in our primary school and secondary schools across the country, where we are going to raise children on values. There are going to be voluntary, associations where we will create models amongst our children, where they are going to be the earliest, adopters of these values, and they will be ambassadors of the values and become, model for their peers, to see how a Nigerian should be. And so the curriculum for that is also being developed in a way that these citizen brigades in schools would be involved in community development, community outreach, and, exhibit duty of care for all of us to see what is expected of us as Nigerians.
All right, go ahead, Amaka.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, we know accidents happen, and the priority is human lives. And we know that when an issue like this happens, the national hospitals might not be close to the scene of the accident. Most times, you have private hospitals around, and most of these private hospitals will require funds before they can start treating these victims or these people. So are there plans, or do you think collaborating with hospitals, in every local government is a good idea, so that when issues like this happen and you need first responders, so that if the distance between the scene of the accident and the national hospital is too far and someone can give up the ghost before they can get quick treatment? You understand? So what's your idea? Do you think this is a good idea to collaborate with hospitals, and how do you plan to go about it?
Yeah, I think the people in charge of this who are responsible for this did very well in the case, like for instance, the last one that happened in Diko in Niger State. They took them to the hospital promptly. But beyond that, it still comes back to the issue of having this value system embedded in all our activities, so that anybody who gets to the to an accident scene, the first thing in his mind is how to care for a fellow Nigerian or a fellow human being. And in the process of caring, then you will do everything beyond the call of your duty to ensure that whether the person needs to get to the hospital, it gets there promptly. And when it gets to the hospital, the nurses, the doctors, all the workers in the hospital will also respond just beyond the call of duty. They will see it as a responsibility, part of our value to care for ourselves. And the community, everybody involved will come from that point of view of duty of care. So, and that's why we are emphasizing that, yes, we will do whatever we need to do in the immediate to ensure that everybody lives up to his or her responsibility. But beyond that, it must become a cultural thing. It must become part of our system. It must be natural to us to care for ourselves. We should not, we are discussing issue of fuel tanker falling, and because people are likely to die and are dying from it. But even there are communities in this country today that if you have bags of rice in a truck and you pass through the community will ransack and steal all the bags of rice. They will remove it, or some other items like that. That should never happen. Besides being criminal, it also shows that we do not care for ourselves. That's somebody's business that you are doing that to. So we must bring this value system by all means.
Thank you very much.
As the president has said clearly, you cannot build a country when the citizens have not been built. So you must build Nigerians so that Nigerians can build Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much, DG. I think we can wrap up with that. Thank you. We're speaking to the DG of the National Orientation Agency, Mallam, Lanre, Isa, Onilu. Welcome. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us on the show. I mean, so ladies,
my pleasure always.
We'll be wrapping up very soon, but I mean,
I think I like the last statement of we need to build Nigerians so they can build Nigeria. I think that's the gap. We have not spent time building Nigerians. Our children need to know this is who we are as Nigerians. These are things we don't do as Nigerians. And if they know it from that place upwards, then we can change the way we think.
That's all we can take on today's show. Hope you learned a few things as we have. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and look for my jam results.
My 280 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jam results.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. I choose to close the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 1 unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, 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 shiny, yeah. Say recap done, and it's time for number 1 on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now. His name